Hey, it's Trueflight here. We're in Star Trek Online. I've had a lot of people asking me about the various loadouts for my different ships. One of my main ships here, the Galaxy X. I have the fleet version now, the Tier 6. And thought I'd go through and show. It's nothing spectacular. It's always a work in progress. But I seem to be able to hold my own. So as far as this one goes, we've got our basic loadout here. I like to run beams on these because it's a slower, sluggish ship. You use it sideways and bring all your beams to bear. So we have four phasers in the front, three phasers in the rear, and a cutting beam from the Borg. My phasers are nothing spectacular. I'm still looking on getting better ones of them. Right now they're running a lot of crit D. They're biomoleculars because they're the best phasers I've really found so far. All of them are Mark 14. None of them are gold on this ship, though. Lots of purple. Gotta work on that, but I have so many other ships I want to build up before I start working on golds. The cutting beam is there basically for the kinetic damage. Since all of my other weapons are beams, I have no torpedo launcher, so I use the cutting beam as the kinetic damage, which really chews through hull once the shields are down. And oddly enough, the stats you see there on the screen are for the weapon itself. Like you see the 599 DPS. When you look at it down here at the bottom, it's going to show you the modified damages for all our consoles and things. And your cutting beam's sitting at 1163 DPS. Same with the phaser beams up here. If you look at them, we're showing 493. Down here, the same beam is showing 957, which actually boosts up even higher once we get some of our abilities on the tray down here in effect. Right now, the ship is running the Kabali set, mostly because I like the nanite deflector screen ability that you get as a bonus for having the whole set. It's not the greatest. I'm probably going to replace it with the Iconian set once I get back to working on this ship. But for what it is, it holds its own. I have the complete 4-piece set of that. And you can see I haven't done much with these either. Leveled them up to 14, but that's it. In fact, this, I think it's the shield is, no, what one was it? The warp core. Oh no, I saw it. It's only in blue. Guess I'm seeing things. I swear I saw one piece that was only blue. But anyway, that's it for those. I carry around a thing of Scorpion fighters. I don't use them too often, but they're fun to have around. Let you launch 3 Scorpion fighters, kind of like a pet, but they just go off and do their own thing. You don't have any control over them. Those come from one of the Romulan missions, the Vault, I think it was. Phaser turrets, again, not something I use very often, but they're there just because. I rarely ever use batteries and things, so I always have empty slots in here. As for the hangar, the Elite Scorpions are probably the best that you can get aside from the temporal ones, the temporal drones or whatever they're called, that come with one of the new ships. If you have that ship, by all means use them, but if you don't, you can't even buy those. So these, so as far as I've been able to find, are probably the best single hangar pets anyway. Once you get into double hangar like carriers, some of the frigates and things are better, but for single hangar, they're by far the best. I have some Tholian ships I used for a while, but they're fun, but not nearly as high a damage output as these. Tactical consoles, pretty much a given, running all vulnerability locators, all phaser damage. The reason I went phasers on this ship is because of the ability for the Galaxy X here has the phaser lance, which is a massive damaging shot. If the saucer section's attached, it fires like a sniper rifle, basically punches right through things. You can see it down here. And it's showing 12,461 phaser damage, fires twice. I've actually seen that with all my bonuses and modifications at a critical hit do upwards of 1,000,000 damage and hit twice. It can one-shot Borg spears and regular cubes at times. And that's why everything on here is phaser based. If the saucer section is separated, which there's a console that does that I don't know, I do have it equipped right now. That one? Oh, it's one of these. There's a saucer separation console. I keep putting this on and off. I haven't decided if I really like it yet. It does change some of your stats, as you can see there, but having the saucer off makes the ship a lot more maneuverable, and gives you a little bit extra weapons power, which is nice. It also changes that phaser lance from the sniper rifle type thing into more of like a shotgun blast. It has a shorter range, but it can affect multiple targets in the within the range. Everything that's in the area of effect, pretty much. It's a nice little weapon. It's very helpful if you have somebody running science-based abilities nearby who can do a gravity well and pull them all together. Then the shotgun can hit multiple targets, but for the most part, the phaser lance itself is the weapon of choice. But I do like to have the saucer separated. Like I said, every now and then I swap in and out this console just to play with that. Overall, I think I like having it on there. I lose a extra console slot that I could be using for something else, but at the same time, the saucer actually flies around with you as a sort of pet and deals a pretty good amount of damage. Has its own smaller version of a phaser lance on there, as well as some other abilities, and it's kind of a cool thing to have. Does a decent amount of damage. Does get blown up pretty quick, so you gotta watch out for that. And you don't get a health meter for it like you do your normal pets, so you gotta actually watch it if you really want. But as I said, I turn that on and off. For science consoles, we're running the temporal disentanglement suite here. Basically running this for the crit chance that modifies the shield bonus and the auxiliary power. The crit chance and crit severities vary depending on your auxiliary power, and it also reduces damage to your shield, which is kind of cool, plus that extra shield bonus. Next we have the assimilated module. This one I pretty much run. If you're running the cutting beam, it's silly not to run this. Not only does it kind of boost the damage of that, because you get the 2-piece set bonus for the weapon amplifier, but it also gives you a decent crit severity bonus, a little bit of crit chance, extra weapon power setting, extra hull regeneration, which is nice. Next, we're running a universal phase. What is this? The quantum phase converter. Sorry, it's a universal console. This one just boosts phaser damage again, auxiliary power, which is nice. Gives you a bonus to drain expertise. But really, we're running it for the extra phaser damage. So technically, he's giving us 5 tactical consoles boosting our phaser damage. Then we have the saucer separation module, which we talked about. I swapped that in and out. I don't know if I have the other one on me. I do not have the other one on me. I can't remember what I swap it with usually. It's in the bank. Next we have a I'm going to say that so wrong. Tachyokinetic converter. And this one is mostly in there for the turn rate bonus, as well as the crit chance, crit severity bonuses. The ship does fly like a dog. It is a Dreadnought, so anything we can get in there that'll boost our turning rate is worth it. This one gives us some other bonuses on top of that. Next we have a Plasmonic Leech. Pretty much everybody's running these nowadays. The price on them has come way down, so they're affordable, and I think I have one on every one of my ships. So, kind of no-brainer there. The last one is actually a console that came with the Tier 6 Dreadnought. It's a supplemental subsystem console, and this one gives you 2 power to all your subsystems, which is okay, nothing great. But it gives you this it gives you this overload system here, which gives you plus 40 to max power to all of your systems for 20 seconds. It does a basically a damage shield. Every time you take damage, the person who hits you takes damage in return. But it's just an all-around interesting console. I've kind of played with it on and off. Not sure if I'm going to keep it on there, but it has been interesting so far. And that's pretty much it for the actual setup on the ship. For our skills, I actually might change these again. I do love going full science. And this one's just a hair short of full, so I'm not getting the last 3 bonuses. But getting this ability here, probability manipulation, makes you do a massive amount of damage for any ship. It's kind of silly not to have it. Like I said, I'm going to redo these eventually just to get the last 3 bonuses here. And play around with the other ones. I do like in the tactical things that boost your energy weapon damage. This boosts accuracy, I think. Oh, crit severity, and that's crit damage chance, I mean. Gonna probably go with less tactical next time and a couple more engineer. I do like the improved hull. There's improved hull capacity. And down here somewhere is, yeah, improved hull plating, which lowers the damage you take. Definitely want to swap those in as I redo this, so I'm going to lose a few of my tactical ones, but still a work in progress on there. As for traits, still flipping around with these. Again, I haven't played this character as much as I wanted to, but the repair nanites one is kind of worthless on this. Since I'm running fighters, they usually die anyway, so there's really no reason to have that. That's definitely going to be replaced soon. Predictive algorithms is an interesting one. That'll probably stay. Emergency response will definitely stay. And improved command frequency, hit or miss. I really haven't found that one to be too spectacular, so got to see what other ones I have options to. I keep getting more and I haven't looked at them in a while, so definitely going to change those up a little. For space rep, we have advanced targeting systems for the extra crit severity bonus. We have energy refrequencer, which takes 2.5% of all my outgoing damage, returns it into hull heal. With the amount of damage this thing puts out, it's almost a constant regeneration. Really nice. Enhanced rendering shots is one that I'm not sure. It may stick around, it might not. This is the one that every time you get a critical hit, you receive a bonus to your crit chance. And it stacks, I think, up to 10 times. So you can end up getting up to a 15% critical hit chance. And then once you get a critical, it resets and starts over. So it's kind of an interesting one. The Graviton amplifier here is actually what was giving me the proc bonus. I was thinking it was from the console, but it's actually from this, where it gives all of your weapons a 2.5% chance of doing a decent amount of damage, kinetic damage with 100% shield penetration. And then for active reputation, again, these are still ones I'm working on. I don't think this character has actually maxed out all his rep yet. No, I've been playing the other ones so much I haven't even maxed out my reps yet. Right now, that's a ground one. We have the refracting Tetrion Cascade, which is like a chain web thing. It's really short range, but when you hit it, it reflects off the guy you shoot, and it'll bounce off to multiple targets. Kind of spreads out foes within the 3K. So it kind of jumps back and forth among people. It's kind of neat, does a decent amount of damage. It's not spectacular, but it's kind of fun to mess around with. Quantum singularity manipulation is basically a bonus to your stealth. And it's like a cloak, but it's temporary, and you can still fire all your weapons, so it's kind of neat. And then biomolecular shield generator puts out that big bubble shield. I'm sure you've seen them out there. Regenerates your shield and anybody else who's in the bubble by 900 and something per second. So really nice. It also reduces the amount of shield damage you can take. That one's kind of cool, but you gotta pretty much remain stationary or fly within the bubble to keep the bonus, so it's hit or miss on that. We'll see what other ones come up, but for now that one's kind of cool. And then down here we have our various abilities. Separate the saucer, launch the fighters, intelligence fleet, which I'm not sure I'm keeping. I may switch intelligence over with temporal once I get it built up a little bit. Tactical initiative resets our bridge officer abilities. That's our probability manipulation, which is that big damage bonus we have. Shield capacitor. Overload supplemental systems is kind of an interesting one. Then on our bottom row here is pretty much our attacks. Our middle row is all defensive stuff. You pretty much know what everything in there does. I have 2 of the reverse shield polarity, so I can start regenerating shield while I get hit. There's our reactive nanite screen, and then 2 more shield regenerations. We have 2 hazard emitters to get rid of plasma damage, things like that. They also work as a hull heal. You can also use them on other people, which is nice. 2 engineering teams. Our tactical fleet. We have 2 tactical teams. They're great for boarding parties and Borg infiltration to get rid of those. They also are a really nice damage bonus and automatically transfer power to the shield that's being hit, which is kind of cool. Running 2 beam fire at wills. These I alternate since they share a timer, but one of them, the one you fire would take longer to come back than the other one, so you can alternate back and forth. Use them quite often, and basically makes all of the weapons fire at a faster rate. And then, of course, the phaser lance here. And finally, we have our actual active crew, and again, you can see I haven't been messing with these too much. I still have some green guys in here. I didn't even know I had green guys left on my ship. But increase the duration of reverse shield polarity, which is kind of cool. 2 guys to reduce bridge officer abilities, and then 2 guys to increase pet damage. Ideally, I'm going to get rid of one of these because the pets aren't that big of a deal for me, and I'd rather have another reverse shield polarity one, I think, or something with weapon beam damage. I have to really look and see what I have, but as I said, still a work in progress there. The real test, though, is to actually take her out and do something. Everybody always asks to do PvP and whatnot. My ships are definitely not built for PvP. I build them for PvE because that's what I do most. Let's see if we can't get in the alert here. We'll queue up for something else. One where we actually have to do something. Of course, nobody's gonna queue up or anything. There we go. Timers on these till people accept are killing me. I liked the old red alerts where you just jumped right in. Now that they've turned them into a actual event you have to queue for, it sucks. There we go. Once enough people queue up, the timer goes, but...
You will be Borg.
I see our souths are separated. We have our shotgun blast. Doesn't work too well when there's only one there. I do need to work on my shield drain resistance. Borg tend to drain the shield right out. Again, I don't have the greatest shield on there either right now, but... Sadly, I don't have a program to track DPS. One up here usually. Oh, he's behind me. I say I thought there was one up here.
Warning, ship is under attack.
What am I under attack for? Does that every now and then. For some reason, Fire at Will and Torpedo Barrage, for some reason, have been tripping the thing saying you're being attacked. Seems random when it does it, but it's really annoying. I can't say the debris is in the way. And he died. I was gonna come help him. Definitely need something to do with that hull drain to protect me. Or shield drain. Orcs seem to be the only ones that really have it to a point where it affects the ship, but yeah, they chew through that shield like nothing. Well, let's go. That was a lousy shot. Only did 8,000 damage.
Disarm your weapons. You will escort us to your own world, where we will begin assimilating your culture and technology.
That's pretty much it, though. Not sure what ones we need. All of them, I think. Yep. Open our box. Yay, junk. And spend our rep points. Where we at? Ways to go for him. That was interesting. Anyway, that's a look at my Galaxy X class. The Tier 6 Fleet version. I hope it helps a little bit to see what I'm running. Again, as I said, I don't play this ship as often as I used to. It used to be my main. Now I've been messing with other stuff, so still needs a lot of improvements. But it can hold its own. I think my Cardassian ship's probably my best equipped right now. I'll be doing videos on the other ships in my fleet here soon, so stay tuned for those, and we'll see you in the next video.